because I screwed up my shoulder when I fell down into a ditch.
Yes.
On the C&O trail.
Yes.
And then you pulled me out of there, but
Yeah.
I wasn't able to ride, and finally I was able to ride yesterday. So
okay, good. By your giant junk, because that was what was sticking out the most. Speaking of which, Jody, tell us about when you had bigger boobs. Well, what?
Yes, I want to know more about that.
This is Bob's time. This is not my time.
No, it's always your time.
I had augmentation, and then I had them removed.
It's our time. It's our time.
Okay, that makes sense.
You had what?
I had breast augmentation.
Oh, okay.
And then I had them removed.
Oh, you had them taken out.
Yeah.
Okay. Did you?
Mammograms, baby. You got to get
Can
double
you
the
save
pictures.
them so we can auction them off? We need them.
No!
Okay. Hi, Bob. All right, Bob's wearing a bike on his shirt because we're both nerds.
Like a jar on the lays the
Yeah,
jar
keep
on the
them
desk. Say, here they are. I brought them with me.
You brought us Abby normal boobs.
Normal, yeah.
Okay. Merry Erasmus Week. Happy debate night, I guess.
Yes, I'm just basking in the whole notion that Donald Trump is under arrest and his bail is his bond is $200,000, and there are lots of rules that he's not going to abide by.
Yes.
Yeah. He's going to get him into more trouble.
Would you like to hear the latest announcement from the bassinet of the
oh yes
45th president? Yeah. We are in caps lock, Bob. We are in caps lock. Act accordingly.
All right.
Nobody has ever fought for election integrity like President Donald J. Trump. For doing so, I will proudly be arrested tomorrow afternoon in Georgia. God bless the United States of America. Oh, and then he has a programming announcement.
Great.
My interview. Oh, great. I'm arrested again. My interview with Tucker Carlson will be out tonight at 9. Sparks will fly. Enjoy.
But where does one
the
find that?
tens of people that are watching.
Yeah,
Twitter.
Twitter is
I think
X.
it's on Twitter.
It's on
Yeah.
X. Okay.
Oh, is it? Yeah. You going to be tuned in for that, Bob?
Oh, of course I am.
Yeah.
But, I enjoyed his troth from the other day where he was talking about moving into a suite with Vladimir Putin.
Yes.
I don't know why he decided to refer to it as a suite, like they were going to share like a Four Seasons hotel room, and it was going to be like Oscar and Felix. Although on the show, on my podcast yesterday,
with hookers peeing. Yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
Exactly. Well, Buzz and I were debating yesterday whether Donald Trump is the Felix or Vladimir Putin is the Oscar or vice versa. Who is Felix? Who's Oscar? Putin or Trump? And we couldn't quite work it out. I think we ended up landing on Donald Trump being the Oscar and Vladimir Putin being the Felix.
Yeah, we should do an updated, traitor odd couple with Russian hookers peeing.
Yeah.
Don't you think?
Right.
Yeah.
Right. And then Felix does that, or I should say Vladimir Putin does that sinus clearing thing that Jack Lemmon does in the movie.
Yes.
It really annoys Trump. Although,
and I know he always just falls back on, it was a joke. I was telling a little joke. I mean, I feel like judges, prosecutors, notoriously, that, and also at the line airport security, there is actually signs at some airports that say no jokes. This is a no joke zone. Because everything he says, he ends up projecting like you're going, oh no, I can actually see him if he's going to go to prison taking off for Russia, right?
Right. He started out writing that one to be sarcastic, but by the time he got done writing, he's like, you know what, this is not a bad idea. I'm going to really float this, try a balloon as to whether I should flee the country. And so that's what he was doing. There's always a little bit of truth in whatever Donald Trump is doing. Seeing how far he can go up to the line without getting arrested. And so that was absolutely. Right. I think even though he was kind of trying to do like a little zinger, like a little comedy bit there.
A little sarcasm.
I think there's some truth in that.
Yeah. Well, as you tweeted, the bail term should have included the words "you child." It was almost like an adult at the ball crawl at Chuck E. Cheese. No, not that either.
Exactly. He needs a babysitter. I mean, literally, there's a babysitter that was court appointed to keep track of the Trump organization, right?
Yeah.
The Trump organization needs a babysitter to look at its books to make sure it's not committing crimes.
Yeah.
The entire family business needs to have someone proctoring its business affairs because it's so nefarious and so shady. And I think that, and now because of the bond and everything like that, Donald Trump needs babysitters to make sure he doesn't continue to commit crimes when he's under indictment for other crimes.
Chris Lavoie is raising his giant, meaty paw.
Oh,
yes.
no.
Have a little bit of breaking news about the debate tonight.
Oh, yes.
North Dakota Governor Doug Burgum was injured while playing basketball with his staff yesterday, putting his attendance at tonight's debate into question.
I had no idea he would be there in the first place. So that comes as a great shock to me. I've never heard his name before. That is a gaping hole there, isn't it, Bob?
He'll be there on crutches.
I'm so sad now. I was like, Bergamentum.
Bergamentum was totally had overtaken me until just this moment.
Bergam fever, catch it. Yeah. I was just so anticipating, oh my God, this guy is going to destroy everyone tonight. Now he can't even show up because of a stupid basketball game. And I have no idea who we're talking about. So.
Governor of North Dakota, correct?
Yes.
Right. I
Yeah,
knew that.
yeah.
Sure. Okay.
Well, where Fargo is, hon.
Yeah, that's where Fargo is.
Oh, okay.
yeah.
Oh, well,
Yeah.
apparently there was a little
yeah.
You're darn
malfeasance.
tootin'.
He had to. Maybe he found a buffet that was reasonable instead of the debate.
Yeah.
Okay. By the way, can we just say this is you comment on this, but Governor Green of Hawaii with the president.
For my formal remarks, which are brief, I wanted to say that I was deeply moved by the president as he shared with us by phone about his experiences of loss and how Senator Inouye helped bring him back, and how as time has passed he's back here with us in Hawaii. You could feel a deep, deep commitment to playing that forward and caring for our people.
I mean, you quoted him, Bob, on Twitter. The president, within 6 hours, met our needs with the federal movement. 6 hours. I don't think that's ever happened before. I mean, it's just like clockwork. The Republicans will play politics with everything and just accuse him of doing a bad job on everything preemptively, even though the people on the ground there are like, this is the best, quickest response ever, right?
I'm kind of really enjoying the Republican response to Joe Biden's response to Hawaii, because it's indicating that they've got nothing. The fact that they spent all their entire news cycle yesterday crapping their cages about the fact that oh my God, I can't believe I almost called him Donald Trump. The fact that Joe Biden talked to a dog for 5 seconds.
Yes.
Acknowledged the fact that there was a
cadaver sniffing dog
in an official capacity. Yes, exactly right.
Yes.
And he said, "Oh, hi. Yes, the pavement's hot. Let's move on." And then suddenly Jeanine Pirro and all the rest of the Fox News goons, their heads are exploding. Oh my God, he's a narcissist for talking to the dog. He has no regard for Hawaii, which just 5 minutes ago, the entire Fox News lineup was saying wasn't even real America. And so now they're crying these crocodile tears over Hawaii because Joe Biden talked to a dog for 5 seconds.
Yeah, I know. It's
they've got nothing.
Yeah, it's gotten to heights of absurdity. And also, Governor Green made another good point. Let's just take a listen, because
The amount of loss we've experienced in such a short time will be difficult for us to even fathom, but we'll hold each other up. Our hearts are broken, and we'll heal. But with the assistance of President Biden, the federal government, and the love and compassion and resources throughout our state, we know we have the support to lift us up as we find those who are lost. We'll deal with the tragedy. The president, within 6 hours, met our needs with the federal movement. 6 hours. I don't think that's ever happened before. So it's our deepest appreciation to you and Dr. Biden.
You know, Bob, this is what they don't know how to counteract on the right, is that Biden is a truly kind, decent, deeply empathetic man. And probably because, largely because, as we all know, of his profound experience with loss and how he speaks to that. I know you and Jody have both lived in Hawaii, and so I know it's close to your heart too, but it is sincere where he comes from, I think, when he talks about grief.
Of course it is. And much like President Obama, this is someone who flummoxes the entire Red Hat Entertainment complex, the entire Republican movement right now, because there are so few scandals or problems. So what they have to do is go to things like, oh, he talked to a dog. It's just like they've tried to concoct things to scream about.
Yeah,
And,
that are just being human.
Yeah, it doesn't matter if it has any bearing in reality.
Yeah.
But it exposes so much about these people, not only from the micro level in terms of what happened in Lahaina, but the larger global problem that we face that was obviously illustrated in Hawaii, which is the climate crisis. And what we know is that that what they're going to do is, and what they've always done, is drag their heels, deny that the climate crisis even exists. Donald Trump thinks it's a Chinese conspiracy. And then as soon as something goes haywire, it's like, oh, well, it's the Democrats' fault.
Yeah.
As soon as they're going to be sandbagging their property from the rising tide of the Atlantic Ocean, in West Virginia, by the time the climate crisis reaches its peak, they're going to say, oh, why the Democrats allow this to happen?
Yeah,
so this
is
ridiculous. Kind of like a smaller example of that reaction that we're going to see in the future.
I think, we see it all the time with President Biden, of course. But, as you know, Bob, I just lost my mom. And grief, as you know, is an uneven kind of process. As you're my friend, I could at any random moment burst into tears or have a gastrointestinal event while I'm
We've seen both.
interviewing you,
We've
which is
seen
happening.
both.
Or at the same time.
Yeah. But, no, but I was going to say, it just spoke to me because, just you can feel his. And speaking of the right wing, we were talking yesterday about how when he was comforting his grandson at his son's funeral, the right wing used that to make him look like a creepy pedophile or something. It's just there's no low. I saved a quote. Someone sent me a book called "It's Okay, You're Not Okay," and I thought just reminded me of the president's thoughts whenever he's counseling people with loss. But it said grief is a part of love for life, love for self, love for others. What you're living, painful as it is love, and love is really hard, excruciating at times. And it's almost like you're right, Bob. The right wing doesn't know how to process that unless they can try to make it something bad about Biden, when you just think, like, if any moment should be human and connect us all, it's loss, and the way the president can speak to that, right?
Yeah. I mean, his experience with personal loss has informed his presidency in extraordinary ways. And the fact that he is president now in the sort of semi-aftermath of COVID, after so much death and so much loss, it's supposed to be this way. I mean, it's supposed to be, the president of the United States is supposed to do these things. I mean, we're kind of shocked when we see it. Oh my God, a president who shows compassion. That's amazing. Only because of the contrast of the previous president to an extent. I mean, this is kind of, to be consoler in chief is part of the role of the president of the United States. And Joe Biden is so good at that, and the timing of his presidency is so appropriate given what we've been through. It's not just the tragedy of COVID, it was the enormous stress and now the post-traumatic stress of having Donald Trump president for 4 years and constantly feeling like, and I know I felt this way, waking up every single morning, and I'm sure you did too. I woke up literally every single morning thinking, is today the day that we're going to see mushroom clouds?
Yeah.
That's what I kept thinking every day throughout that 4 years.
We're going to have over-startled response for the rest of our lives from our phone alerts. It's just, what's that? What did you what did that orange
when Chris just said breaking news earlier. When Chris said breaking news earlier, I was like, oh my God, what? What is it? Like, what are we going to have to digest now?
Oh, my kid just needs a ride home from soccer. Okay.
Right.
Yeah. You make it sound like empathy is not pelting people with paper towels. Weird. Is that what you're saying?
That's exactly right. You don't do
interesting.
that. Yeah.
All right.
But they love taking all the Trump things and applying it to Joe Biden because because Jeanine Pirro and the Fox and Friends people, or the Fox 5 people, have nothing on Joe Biden that's of any substance whatsoever. So it's an entire day of, oh my God, he spoke to a dog, like any of us would.
Yes.
Say, oh, look, a cute dog.
Before you go, speaking of grief, could you take your organ out for me, Chris?
Right away, Ms. Miller.
Speaking of which, am I the only one getting all the gay male porn on X, Twitter, whatever
I don't
it is?
get that.
Chris, I have a number of questions for you. Well, some of the things I've seen. But you tweeted the end The end of Elon's Twitter is fast approaching. Meta's Threads is finally available on desktop.
Well,
so this is what I know Chris has been waiting for.
It's not available for me yet. I keep checking.
Okay,
it's
all right.
rolling out.
It's rolling out. Yes.
Yeah. I mean, it feels like I've always been a big proponent of Spoutable as an alternative.
Same here.
It feels low. Just if you go look in on Threads feels the most like Twitter at this, or the way Twitter used to be.
Yeah.
Right.
And so maybe that's the one. And I think the rollout of this desktop version will make it even more appealing. So we'll see what ends up rising to the surface. But it seems at this point we're going to have to deal with Mark Zuckerberg again, which is kind of a lateral move from Elon Musk as far as I'm concerned, but
maybe you could wait till their slap fight and see who wins.
But he's not. At least he's not outwardly as D-ish.
Douchey.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, Mark Zuckerberg is a horrible person who sold, took rubles for Russian propaganda during the 2016 election. But you know what he doesn't do? He doesn't hop onto his platform every 5 seconds and start shaking up the ant farm just to see how we're going to react.
Right. Yeah. Bob, you know what I am, because you're a radio nerd. I am still hanging onto that cart machine with my almost cold, dead, bloody hands.
With your Dolby strips on the side?
I am not moving to something new until I know for sure that's the new.
Oh, yeah.
So I'll go back to my
I have an 8-track in one hand, my cart machine in the other.
But you know what? I know enough people on Threads and enough news organizations are on Threads that it's what I have gravitated to.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Well, I'm
and weirdly enough, it matters, too, that there are Republicans on Threads.
It does.
So there's something we can yell at.
Yes.
Yeah.
There's people to annoy.
Yeah.
I have no interest in being in a bubble. And Threads is not that bubble. So...
Yeah, it's important for like Ted Cruz to be there. Like Kimberly's always made. Is Ted Cruz on the platform yet? Well, once Ted Cruz is on the platform, that means we have someone to yell at.
Yes.
So all good.
It's like that footage I showed you of the two gorillas that were like, bugging each other. That's the human behavior. That's what Twitter's like. It used to be like, right? Just keep doing this. Just, ow, stop it. Ow, stop it.
We're doing that to you right now.
Oh, we have to go. Bye, Bob. Love you.
Yeah, we're late.
Bye.
See ya.
To the
Bob Cesca show. I'm going to be listening right on my bike in a couple hours. Okay.
Bye, Bob.
52 minutes after the hour. I'm just going to take over the Lowe's because I cannot have you sexually harassing my executive producer now. She's not just any